Thank you. It's really the last words because everything needs a formal closing, and I'm doing the formal closing. This is our seventh forum, as you already know. But so there was after 3 years of hiatus, we are doing it the seventh. We had six forums in the past. So in this forum, we have 38 speakers, 237 participants from 10 countries. Over 16 conversation is in the last 3 days. So it's a diverse. So let's give a big round for the speakers, participants for this during these 3 days. Now, for the first day of the forum, we had a day-long field visit, and in the morning we showed some glimpses of the visit. And on the second and third day of this conference, we talked about the first day is about what have we learned, what are the impact, and second day is about so what we are going to do about it, how we are going to take it forward, and what it means for us, the development practitioners of the Global South mostly. Now, facing such regional crisis has and will require continued resilience, persistence, creativity, empathy, collaboration, and smart work or frugal work if we are to break the roots of poverty, inequality, and hunger. This is we cannot do alone. So this message is probably the most repeated message that we have heard in this last 2 days of discussion. The impact of this pandemic on livelihood, economy, health, education is known to all of us. On the brighter note, this Frugal Innovation Forum showed us this. We learned from the multifarious devastating effect of the pandemic, but we haven't stopped there. All of the community, at least at the community level, if not at the country level, we tried to come up with the solution during this last 2.5 years, 3 years time. And each of them were innovative, frugal, and worked to help each of the community that it was targeted for. And that's the hope, that if we can learn from them, these initiatives, scale it up, then the country will be ready for even bigger, if there is a bigger disaster, we are ready for that. As Asif Bhai mentioned, the effect of the pandemic could have been far worse if the people had not collaborated from all across the world to come up with solution. So that's what we have learned, that not only these communities did their own stuff, they also collaborated, and the collaboration is cross-boundary. So as Asif Bhai also mentioned in the closing panel, we heard how a telco worked with a budding doctor and spread the message. So how a FMCG company reached out to a NGO and worked with them to help their customers. So these collaboration often within country, across the country, really helped, and even cross boundaries. We have seen how Yale research team is working with a team in Bangladesh trying to find out how best to predict the spread of the disease, or whether it can be predicted, or how best we can promote wearing face masks. We also talked about the importance of being user-centric, not patternistic, in designing a solution. So many solutions were tried, but only those who were done with the users in mind, as Rani Yanian just said, with the community that supposed to use that solution, that worked, other hasn't worked as good. So as Rani Yanian just said, if indigenous people's insights and ground realities can be incorporated, then effective and quick solution can be brought. And this is true for all the communities which were affected and for whom a product was developed. Working with the community is the key lesson repeated during these 2 days. In terms of digital finance that we discussed yesterday and today, the COVID-19 pandemic has accelerated digital payment and enhanced inclusivity. But we need to be cautious about leaving no one behind. It also created some gaping holes of communities who doesn't have access to mobile phone. who doesn't have. So while a lot of people were included, but there is the left small groups. And if we are talking about leaving no one behind, we also need to be mindful about it. And yesterday we also heard some interesting insights. Like Kamal Kadir Bhai was talking about how payments to the garments worker, salary to the garments worker, made most of their life easier. But some garments workers said, you made my life hell because now my husband knows exactly how much I earn. And by doing that, you leave the, I lose control over my salary. So, and the final message that came up is this importance of collaboration, private-public collaboration, collaboration between government and non-government entities. And in the opening plenary today, Ani Chaudhary, Dr. Omar Ishaq, Sadaf Saj, Siddiqui and Asif Bhai all emphasized that delivery of affordable, high-quality services to all communities is a priority, and without collaboration, that's impossible. Let me finish with some vote of thanks. Of course, the speakers and the participants, I'd like to thank all the speakers who spoke in these 2 days, but I would like to thank the Honorable State Minister who just left, Dr. Shamsul Alam. I know he had appointment today with the Prime Minister's office, and he made an effort to come out of Prime Minister's office to arrive in time. And Her Excellency, Dr. Lily Nicholas, this is my first chance to meet you, but Canada is such a wonderful partner to all the global development actors, and I'm so honored to have you here in the closing panel. I'd also like to give a round of appreciation to amazing speakers from more than 9 countries that came from around the world, and some traveled from Kenya, others traveled from as near as India, but they came from different places to share their ideas around the frugality, innovation, and resilience they showed during the pandemic, or the communities that they represent showed during the pandemic. I'd also like to take this moment to appreciate the amazing participants and the attendees of the forum who kept their patience, encouraged us, the organizer. And it's very rare you have a workshop in Dhaka, because I know traffic become mad after 5. So people generally leave up before 5. So the presence in this hall is really something I really appreciate as an organizer. I would like to also thank the Additional Secretary, Ministry of Industry, Deputy Secretaries of different ministries, DMP and other respected government, DMP commissioners and other respected government officials who participated actively, facilitated the discussion, asked the right question. I think this is what Asif was talking about, being the bridge with government, non-government, and non-state actors. The event wouldn't have been possible without the relentless support and effort of various programs and units of BRAC. The team received constant, constructive support from BRAC communication, namely Moti Sherpa. I don't know whether she's still here. Moti Sherpa and her team, Sara, Mamunul, Priyom, Mamun, Ramim, Tanzim. I don't know whether I'm missing few colleagues from BRAC, Manzoor Bhai and his team. Amit did a wonderful work, who constantly gave time and support to the SEAL team, who take the brunt of this burden. And really, they worked throughout the clock and really did a wonderful job. Maybe we can give a round of applause for them. So, I would like to especially thank Sadat, Kuldeep, Prottoy, Arshi. These are all SEAL team members. Durdana, Mark, Tithi, Najiba, Irina, Faria, Daulat, Imon, Farah, Maleha, Padmasri, Anika, Muhaymin, Mubashir. Some of them actually joined a few days back just to, And then with this, I would like to end this with a hopeful note that the insightful conversation and the discourses that emerged out of the conference during this, preparatory phase and over the past 3 days have left a mark on all of us. And we will take this conversation forward, and more importantly, continue to do our collaboration to build a better and resilient world for all of us. Thank you.